Welcome back, guys. Today we will be talking about some operation in strings as we mentioned in the previous video. So let's get started. Now if you remember, in the last video we had a mini challenge in which we talked about some operations of arrays in strings. So I'll explain it a bit. So let's declare the same string, which is hello world. Now for arrays, I'll just print out that array. So arrays are the items in the strings or list. So in list we had items, now we have letters. So the first letter will have the index 0, second letter will have the index 1. Now the space will also be included as an item. So we can print out, let's say, the first letter, which has the index 0. Now if I try running it, it says it. Now I can print, let's say, hello from it. So hello will be from 0 up until and not including index 5. So index 5 is the 6th item. Remember, in the last video we talked about it, that it's 0, it's 1, it's 2, it's 3, it's 4, and it's 5 index, but it's the 6th item. So we want to print out up until and not including 5th index, that is the 6th item. I can just say 5, and we can remove it because by default the indexing starts from 0. So if I run it, it says hello. Now to not confuse you guys, I may keep the 0 because it sometimes seems a bit weird to just start from a colon. So it's healthier to start from 0, and that's hello. And we can also start indexing from minus. So for negative, this is the -1 index, this is -2, -3, -4, -5, and this is -6. So we want from 0 up until -6 and not including -6. So I'll just say -6. If I try running it, if I try running it, it says hello. The result is same. We just have started from negative. So negative is useful when you have a whole of a paragraph and you don't want to count from start to the end. You can just start from the -1. So that's all for arrays in string. Now let's get to some other operations in string. So let's say I wanted to make this hello world in uppercase. So I can just say print a.upper. So that's an inbuilt function in Python. So it converts this string into uppercase. So if we try running it, so it prints hello world. So if you see now that the a has the value hello world. Now we haven't changed the value, we just have printed the upper version of a, uppercase version of a. So we can in order to convert this a into uppercase, we can say a is equal to a.upper, and we can now remove a from, now we can remove upper from here. Now also the result would be same. And similarly I can convert this into lowercase. Now if you see that h is in uppercase, I can convert whole of it into lowercase, and it prints out hello world all in lowercase. Also I can titleize it. Now let's say if I change it to h, I can say title. So what is titleize? So titleize means that the first word would be in uppercase, else would be in lowercase. Similar with the second word, w will be in uppercase, else will be in lowercase. If I try running it, now we can also replace an item from a string. So what I can do here is I can say a dot replace. It's also an inbuilt function, very easy. So we have to pass two parameters. So the first parameter would be the letter from which we want to replace, and second, what we want to replace. So let's say I want to replace H. I have to put two inverted commas, make sure to add them, and I have to separate the second parameter with a comma, and I can pass the second parameter. So I can also leave it empty. So what will this empty do? Empty will replace this H with a blank space, means now only this will be printed out. So if I try running it, it says hello world. Also, I can replace it with some verb which makes a bit of sense. Let's say S, so it's hello world, whatever. Now what else can we do is we can split a string. So I can convert this whole of string into a list of two different items. So I can just say split. If I try running it, it creates a string with two items, hello and world. So by default, splits the string from a space. Now we have a space here, so that's why it made items from the space. And we can also mention from where all we want to create this. So let's say I can put here an @ sign, and I can also make another @ and I can hello world there. Now I can mention from where all I want to split it, and I can pass the parameter @ here. Now if I try running it, it separates the words from @. Now we have got three items separated from @. Now we have got an interesting function which may seem a bit difficult but is very useful. So that's formatting. So let's say I define a name. Let's say name is equal to Dani, and I can define an age, and let's say 23, 24, I don't know, maybe let's say any. And I can print out name. I can open and close curly braces, and I can put a \n to make a line breaker. Now if you remember, in the last video we discussed about it. Now you can say age. Now if you notice here, I haven't left any space between \n and age. Now if I leave a space between \n and age, then we'll see a space from the age in the first line, so we can't do it. I'll show you what do I mean by that. And similarly, I can here add two curly braces, and I can say .format. Now that's a very interesting function. Now listen to me here. So what I can do here is I can say name, age. Now what will happen is that it's in respective system, name will be placed at here, and similarly age will be placed at here. So name was Dani, so Dani will be placed here. Age was 23, so age will be placed here. Now we try running it. It says name Dani, which was name Dani, and age, which was here, age, and it was 23. So if you see, it's a very useful way. We need not to convert a string, we need not to convert a integer into string in order to concatenate them. We can just do this formatting, which is very useful. We'll use it throughout the course, so you'll get used to it. So guys, it's time for a quick mini challenge. So what I want you guys to do is to write a code which checks if a particular variable is in uppercase or is in lowercase. So if you are already acquainted with Python, then you may start creating some functions, but let me remind you, there's an inbuilt function in Python to check if a string is in uppercase or lowercase. So you can Google it, do a bit of research. It's very easy. So I'll see you guys after the challenge. Okay, so I hope you guys were able to figure out the challenge. So let's get into it. So what I can do is we'll declare two strings, let's say lowercase, and I can declare one string uppercase. And if I try printing out if they are in lowercase or uppercase, I can write a dot is upper. So it's also an inbuilt function in Python. So it will return a boolean value. So if you remember, boolean values were true or false. So you can figure it out. It will obviously print out false. Now if we check the same for b dot is upper, so it's upper. So let's try running it. So it prints out false and true. So it was not in uppercase and it was in uppercase. That's why it printed false and true. So we can also check if a particular item is titleized. So I can, let's say, dot l dot case. So if you see, it's in title form, as each of the words first letter is in uppercase. So I can say is title. If I try running it, it's in title. So that's why it printed out true for me. Now let's say I have made this e in lowercase. Now whole of it is in uppercase, but just the e is in lowercase. Now what do you think will happen? Should it be true or false? It's a false. In order to be uppercase, the whole of it should be in uppercase. Okay, so that's all for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Now make sure to subscribe the channel if you like the video, like it, dislike if you didn't, and I'll see you guys in the next video.